Board of Commissioners regular meeting. I'll call it to order and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Bruce Ansel. John Brown.
Todd Fisher.
Kimberly McMurray.
Matt Rayburn.
And before we really get rolling here, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Lieutenant Leslie Smith, who passed away on March 26th. All right, thank you. Is there any public comment? We'll open the Volunteer Pension Board meeting at 10:33. We have the approval of the March 21 minutes. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Any other business for the Volunteer Pension Board, Chief?
No, sir.
All right, we'll go ahead and close that meeting and open the regular Board of Commissioners meeting at 10:34. The consent agenda is before us. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes March 21 meeting minutes, staff reports, financial reports, vouchers? Yes, that's it.
Someone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Jeez, this is tough.
Is this thing on?
Discussion. I have a couple questions, of course. Chief, your report. Maybe just enlighten us about our new hires, and we're going to talk about the annexation issue later. Workspace in the I guess we're not. Sorry.
No, we can.
I can put it under new business.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but we went through a hiring process.
Yes, sir. Monday of the 15th, we onboarded 5 new FTEs. They're currently in day 4 of new employee orientation. They're a different group that we've hired. I'd say the past couple hires, a little older, some different work experience. Very little structural firefighting experience, which is becoming the norm in the fire service. It was for years. We would hire people with years of experience, and now we're not. And this group certainly reflects that. They do have one has I would say zero fire experience at all. First time he put on an air pack was Tuesday morning. 3 of them have wildland experience. 2 of them extensive wildland experience working for like federal hotshot teams and heli repel teams and heli-tac teams, and one was I believe he was a federal hotshot of the year a couple years ago. So pretty studs, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. And then they have different educational experience. Some of them have, I think 4 of the 5 have college degrees. 3 of those are bachelors of science in hard sciences. And most of them are making, I should say, 3 of them are making what I would say would be mid-adulthood career shifts. they had some interaction with the fire service at some point that impressed them and made them realize that that firefighters are actually doing something. They're doing good. They're accomplishing their task. And then they reflected on their own career path and realized that they were kind of in a land of make-believe, I guess I'd say. That's my words, not theirs. But just were really impressed by the professionalism and how the firefighters attacked the task that they were working on, and decided that that's something that they wanted to do as well. So I'm excited for them. They leave for the academy on May 2nd. They'll return July 25th, and then they'll have another 2-week intensive EMS course before they go onto the floor, and then they'll be off and running in August. So yeah, great group. Looking forward to getting to know them better, but so far they're working with some selected mentors on getting ready for the academy, covering everything from how to don and doff gear and equipment to how to shine your boots and fold a flag and have a flag ceremony and get prepped for the academy. So I'm looking forward to see how they develop.
Any other questions or comments on the consent agenda?
Just a quick question follow-up. Where does that leave us on staffing
We are today,
today?
when they're out of the academy, we'll be fully staffed. Today. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Lots of assumptions in that, but that's fantastic.
Except for the guy with the brakes on his leg.
Yeah.
Why, that was, the chart is full, let's put it that way. So.
Okay. Well, that's good.
All right, so I will read the financial numbers in. Revenue for March, $735,105.79. Expenditures for April, $895,451.75. Direct deposit payroll, $430,351.54. Payroll taxes, $103,385.99. Benefits voucher, $260,327.12. Monthly expenditure voucher, $100,890.75. Capital projects, $496.35. All in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Commissioner meeting reports.
I'll start.
Okay.
I attended the Blaine City Council meeting, and I'll go to their next one on Monday, and had the opportunity to talk to their city manager, yes, about the 12-foot building, or about having buildings over 5 stories and keeping the fire department within that loop.
Was it received?
It was.
Well?
It was, yes.
Do they understand?
They do. They were glad. And the public works person and also the mayor were also standing there, so kind of put plugs in everybody's ears. And we'll do it again and do it again and do it again and just keep it in the forefront.
Right. I mean, I know the developers are gonna be there going, we wanna build, and we don't want to have sprinkler systems, and we don't want to have parking garages that are protected, and blah, 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 and we want less parking and higher buildings, and sometimes we get left out of that loop.
Right. And that's what I addressed with him. Still working on the levy lidlip community meetings. I have several different pockets of people I've been talking to and trying to get facilities, and also assisted in helping put together the PRO committee and moving forward with that.
Which we will discuss later here when we will create that committee.
Yeah.
Cool.
Aye.
Go ahead, sorry.
I've been involved in some of the community issues with the abandoned and disrepair buildings. And Blaine is finally being extremely proactive. I don't know if you all noticed that they're tearing some of the buildings and
Or down the
properties
old
down.
restaurant.
My question is, do we have involvement in identifying any of the fire hazards and any of the abandoned building issues around the town that I can bring to the city's attention?
I'm not able to answer that, but I will get with Fire Marshal Nielsen and ask him and get you that answer. Sorry.
I started pushing for this. I think Jenny saw the post initially like 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And was originally told at the time that the city wouldn't do anything about it. And I was thinking they were concerned about the slippery slope precedent it would set. But looks like they're taking it seriously now. And I think this is an opportunity for us to get a foot in the door with some of our fire marshaling. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. And I would hope or suspect that maybe the crews at 61 might be able to help identify those higher risk abandoned structures that I know, Chief, you used to say we were all waiting for that one to go up
Yeah.
at some point. I think there was one down by 69s that finally took off. And, yeah, I'm kind of curious. It's county, but the one there at Birch Bay, Linden, and Blaine Road that used to be a thrift shop and was a coffee shop before that, and it looks like it's going to become part of the roundabout. But that seems like a abandoned building for some damn. Anyway, that's excellent, and a lot of that is, safety for our people too.
Exactly.
I mean,
For us and the
these
community.
things catch on fire and the floors are rotted out of them and bad things happen. So we can get at least a watch list going.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Crawford, enlighten us on the fire commissioners from the county.
Yeah, so the declaration of protest is what it says here. It wasn't really a protest. The commissioners got together as a whole and sent off a letter of repeal asking the county council to repeal their decision of the document that was put forward. I think everybody got a letter in the packet. And if you didn't, I sent it to you the day that we sent it to the council. Council came back, took a vote 5-2, not in our favor. So they're going to move forward with they're looking at consolidating and finding out where the money from the EMS levy goes and this, that, and the other. They want to get some eyes on it. So they have sent it out to a firm. I understand the firm's going to come back and it's going to take anywhere from a year to a year and a half to get the final reading on that. So it's a ways out, but they may be reaching out to different departments trying to get a hold of budgets and operating procedures and things like that. So it is moving forward. And again, it was voted down. So thank you, County Council.
Well, yeah. The whole point of this 225-page study was to create some momentum to study the fire districts and how we should maybe save money and consolidate and do all that, which is not their job because we're separate political entities. And for some reason, they missed that. I think there was some confusion that because they have EMS money and they give us 1 or 2% of our 2 to 3% of our budget is from that EMS money that they think they can run our departments. And I disagree, and so do all the other chiefs and commissioners who unfortunately weren't involved at all in the 225-page document. Not one question, not one recommendation, not one anything as to what our thoughts might be. And so, kind of a bad way of doing business, in my opinion.
Let's just leave it at that.
We'll see what happens. I mean, if they want to figure out the EMS piece, that's great. So, thank you. We met with Liz Loomis again. We're moving forward. We've got we've done a couple of presentations. The chief has done his PowerPoint presentation for the levy lift information. And we have another one coming up next month. In fact, it will be at noon, right after our meeting. So next month, we're gonna have the speed through the meeting. To get to Birch Bay 63, we're gonna do the presentation in the bay, so that those people in the community can see the condition of the fire station. So although we're gonna move the apparatus out, we're not gonna like super duper fix all the leaks.
Can we have a fire truck spraying water on top of the
Well, that's
building
what I said,
today?
we put a sprinkler up there. We have a master stream pour. So, I didn't say anything yet. Sorry. Anyway, so we had those meetings. What else did we? Oh, and then I've been meeting with people for the pro committee. So we have established 3 people who are interested in being on that committee, and we'll talk about that later on. Local 106.
Good morning. A few things. As Chief mentioned, we have the 5 new hirees that hit the floor, so there's been a lot of help from a lot of individuals, so appreciate all that. They're currently operating with Steve Latham. He usually does the onboarding process, so kudos to him. He does a good job. We're still working on finalizing some negotiations for the battalion chief position. We have a meeting next week. We have a promotional assessment coming up in May 2nd, I think. May 2nd. And then we're getting into the busy season, so we're going to start pre-scheduling overtime for our overtime procedures. That's all I got for you right now.
Unfinished business, Birch Bay Station 63 Phase 1 project update.
Slow as usual. Been working with the attorney on hammering out what an RFQ for a project manager might look like. So that's moving slowly forward. And that's really all I have to report on phase 1. I will say I might be dragging my feet a little bit watching the economy, because the more interest rates go up, the more it's going to cost us. So, and the projections are not awesome right now. So waiting might, I know, trending better, and now it's all of a sudden not. And so I don't know if that's a board decision, but I feel like I got some responsibility in that. So I want to make sure that we strike at the right time, because we don't want to lock in an interest rate too early and then have an election and have the bottom drop out of interest rates and be paying an inflated price for something we will not be able to refinance for 10 years once we lock in. So it's kind of a big deal. So
When do you think we'll have an answer on the construction manager?
knowing my luck, probably by 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
And if so, I will sorry.
Well, I know that these folks are gearing up. This is their busy season, and so if there is someone available, they might be available now and not next month.
I will not wait. I'll move forward under the assumption that the board's I'll be in contact with you, but I'll move forward with the assumption the board wants to do this. And it looks like this kind of personal agreement can't be signed by me. It would have to be signed by the board. So I would have everything ready for you in May, so that we could go through the selection process and have things narrowed down, ready to sign in May, not still in process.
Cool. Station 62 is, how'd our engineer planning things go?
Planning things have been submitted to the city. We got a preliminary thumbs up. They're also bringing on their commercial plans examiner person. So we're getting an initial thumbs up from him. All things are moving forward, ready to go in July, and the gutters have been cleaned.
Nice. Be dry now.
They were pretty bad.
So what's the projection on that then? Well, if we're able to start moving forward, when do we anticipate it being habitable?
That I haven't got from Bob yet.
Okay.
But my assumption is looking at the 72 project, 3 months,
Yeah,
2 to 3
I think-
months. It's not
I
a
think
huge.
it was a 3-month project, assuming the stairs, I mean, the hope is to put a metal stair case on that, and I don't know if there's a bunch of prefab stuff for that, or
There
if
is.
it's assemble on site, but, so that it doesn't rot and fall off again.
And our timing for that, and the idea is that we'll be able to move some staff into that if we have to,
You have to vacate 63.
Yeah.
Yep.
and time-wise, it would be then premature since we don't really have any type of forward momentum. Would we still be staffing there if we can't move out of 63?
Well,
I know that's our goal eventually.
the goal is to, the anticipation is that the levy will pass, and that's where that aid car is going to go.
Right.
And we're going to fast track the hiring. It would take a little bit of labor negotiations, which I'm sure the union would be up for, but we might try to put that aid car on for 12 hours. As soon as we get the green light from the levy, we get our new people back and staffed up. We might have the capacity once high vacation season's over, as we hit, say, October, we might be able to staff that car 12 hours a day.
Okay.
In which case it'll come out of there. I want to make sure we honor the commitment we made to the community, right? And but it's going to take to hire more, put them through the training. It's not a rubber stamp process, so it's going to take a little bit to get them up and running. Anticipate. And the other thing is, if we have some sort of catastrophic failure at 63, they have to come out of there. And right now, that's the place to go. There's definitely, there's some, amongst the higher ranks in the department, there's some concerns about response times from 63 or from 62 to I-5. So we're looking at how do we mitigate that? Is there a way to mitigate that? But 62 needs to be staffed. What Commissioner McMurray was in the station yesterday, we had 5 calls going in 63's area, 61, 62, 63's area all at the same time. 3 of them required medics. 1 was a BLS transport.
In terms of the response times, are we then also involved somehow in the plans for the Peace Portal railway construction? Because that's going to be closures and diversions.
That's so far down the road. I mean, we threw our hat in the ring. They know our name, and they'll have to. You'll see it like with any annexation, with any kind of large project like that. They have to reach out to us. We're on a checklist, so we will be. But we haven't heard. I haven't heard anything from.
Okay.
An anticipated start date, and anything like that. So,
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Just thinking of that other back way through the neighborhood to cross the tracks at,
Loomis Trail?
no,
Oh, the neighborhood?
Bayview? Is it Bayview?
Dodd, go down Dodd.
what's the cross street there, that comes out at
Hughes.
Hughes? Yeah. Anyway, that's a slow roundabout, but if they close that whole intersection, they're probably gonna have to route all traffic through there.
Yeah.
Which they've done before.
Yeah.
They have used that for short periods of time before, and the neighborhood doesn't.
I'm
find
sure
it
the
a big
neighbors
deal.
are gonna love that.
It's going to be a mess.
Yep. Yep. All right, capital purchasing policy. That was that wonderful long book you sent us.
Snoozing document, yes, sir.
Is there any, we need to approve that?
That's the hope.
Are there any concerns?
Not from staff.
And that was written, reviewed by legal.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any?
Mr. Paxton and Mr. Davis have both looked at that document. and
Okay.
Providing
So
comment.
it's up to date, up to speed.
Up to date, up to speed.
And what is this going to do for us that we currently aren't able to do?
This is gonna,
Go ahead.
sorry, this is gonna take 12-year-old purchasing policy, update it. And for me, it's going to tell me and staff exactly how we buy large things. As opposed to the old policy referred to a lot of RCWs, which if you've read any RCWs, they're clear as mud. This spells it out. It breaks it down Barney style, which for me is how I need things. It also will tell the auditor exactly how we do things, and they can just match our process. Here's step one. This is what we did for step one. Here's step two. This is what we did for step two. It takes any ambiguity out of it. There is a danger in writing one that's this detailed, but in this case, the auditor gives me hives, and to know that I'm able to audit myself by going step one, step two, it makes me feel much better. So,
Right. So we want a motion for us to approve the purchasing policy.
yes, sir.
So
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions or discussion? I guess we kind of brought the discussion ahead of the motion, but sorry. But Robert's rules pass on that one. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you, Chief, for
Thank you.
bringing that forward, and hopefully it makes your life easier. CBA status.
We met yesterday regarding the addition of battalion chiefs. The union had some concerns. They brought them forward, and I will discuss them more in executive session, or I'd like to discuss them more with the board in executive session. We have another meeting scheduled. Things are positive. We're moving forward, but have another meeting scheduled for the 29th? Yep, 29th of this month. And we're committed to a solution, so.
Okay. So for part of our levy lid lift, we need to create, or it is recommended for us to create a pro committee. We're not required to create a con committee. And has there been any communication to admin for a con committee?
I have not received anything.
So we've advertised it a minimum of 3 ways, like is required by statute, and we did the same for the pro committee, and we've had some personal contact with 3 people who are interested in being on that committee, and what they do then is write the pro statement for the levy lid lift, which goes in the voters pamphlet, and there's all kinds of rules and restrictions and timelines and things that have to be met for that. And the people who have expressed an interest in this were given that information. So we need to create that committee. And so I am going to recommend 3 names, Margot Sabell, Wendy Tillman, and Peter Bethel, to be the pro committee for the levy lid lift statement in the voters panel. So I will move to create the committee with those 3 people. Thank you. So these people are, one is from Birch Bay Village, one is from Simiamu, and one is from Laurelish, Weiser Lake. Tell me where it is.
Birch Bay.
Wendy? Oh, I thought she was your.
She lives out there.
Oh, contacts with Laurel.
Yes, yes.
Hails from the Laurel area.
That's right.
So, all right. So, any questions, comments? It's a 200-page maximum statement. Has to be submitted by.
200 word.
I'm sorry. Did I say page? Pardon me.
That's
Need a
some
copy.
homework.
Sure, it's got to be.
Yeah, thank you. 200 word, which isn't very many words. And submitted, we have to submit their names by the 3rd, and they have to be,
We do the 3rd, they have to submit their statement by the 8th.
and then if there is a con committee, then there's a rebuttal by the 13th or something like that. Hopefully, there's not, there typically isn't, but, so, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? It's unanimous. So you'll file the correct paperwork, yes, Chief? But we need to make contact with these 3 to get the exact spelling of their names that they want in the voter's pamphlet. And then we can have them fight out who wants to be the chairperson. I suspect it's going to be Margot because she has a strong background in journalism, both US and Canada, nationally. So I think she knows how to write. But they all understand that we would like to see the draft before it gets finalized. Just to make sure that there aren't any errors in statements of fact. Okay? Any other unfinished business? New business. So the Northern Heights update, Chief?
So the Northern Heights annexation, which affects District 4, not District 21, but with the contract, it all affects us. City of Bellingham moved forward with preliminary approval to study the Northern Heights annexation, which means that this gives council gave direction to department heads to do a study to come back to council to tell them what the effects of the Northern Heights annexation would be. So PD, fire department, public works, water, all those people, roads, they'll look at what the Northern Heights annexation. In talking with Chief Hewitt, there's additional, not instructions, but it's implied that they will also discuss, does this trigger Tweed 20? And if so, what are those impacts? And then each department will say yay or nay. Or, we recommend, we can move forward with the annexation as recommended, or this would be a hardship for us and this is what we need to offset it. I'm not going to say what any one department, I shouldn't say what any one department would say, but that goes on, like, I think it's a 120-day review period. So in the fall is when we'd find that out. They did set a tentative date for annexation of April 1st, 2025. I don't think that Chief Hewitt would put any money on that date, but that's what they said as a tentative date. And there are going to be opportunities for District 21 and District 4 to speak to the issue at like the County Boundary Review Board, which is a required stop on this annexation train. And we can discuss the impacts. And that's where we would, or District 4 could, if it does appear the annexation is going to move forward, they could say, well, we want to mitigate this for a couple years, 3 years with funds. And it's like on a sliding scale. Bellingham would give District 4 money to ease them off the tax rolls, ease that area off the tax rolls. But that's too
And
much.
the 60% issue that
It's not even an issue. That most of those homes when they were built, they had a no protest in the.
no, I'm talking about that triggers Bellingham to have to take D4.
The confusing 60%, yeah, so in the state of Washington, if a city annexes 60% of a junior taxing district's area, then they have to eat the whole thing. To the best of my knowledge.
Area or AV?
The AV, sorry. To the best of my knowledge, best of my understanding is, they put the statement in there, but nobody ever put the calculation in there. So nobody knows how to write the calculation, and nobody's ever challenged it. So is it the AV from the first annexation? Is it the AV from the last annexation? When do you float the AV so that if annexations take place over 40 years, how do you figure out what's 60%? I will go on record and say that I've seen some internal Bellingham documents that show 3 different ways of calculating the 60%, and in 2 of them, they exceed it, and 1 they don't, so they choose the third that they don't exceed the 60%. So,
Surprise.
it's honestly probably a legal case that somebody's gonna have to take on, but it's always junior taxing districts. So junior being funds wise as well, it would probably have to, it's probably one of those things that would end up in the Supreme Court, and somebody would have to have the wherewithal to take it on. I don't know that District 4 is that body. So the question continues. And I've heard that from both our legal counsel and District 4's legal counsel, that basically just roll over and take it.
So just the ramifications for us as a board would be if Bellingham moves forward and takes all of the AV, D4 will again be in a position to not be able to pay for the services that we provide. And so that would be a horrible decision we would have to make. But if they can't pay for 25% of our budget, then we can't provide the service. And that's how this has been going on for years. And I hope we don't get there, but we need to mentally prepare ourselves that could be a potential. If all the money's gone, we're not providing the service for free.
One thing I would like to say, just on the record, and especially because the union's in attendance, is that no matter what happens, I can't forecast any loss of jobs, or I would not forecast any loss of jobs. Bellingham's short 2 stations. If they eat District 4, they're short 3. So the personnel are going to work somewhere.
Right. I mean, we prefer they work
I
here.
prefer they work here,
And
but
we would prefer to be in a position to upstaff and even add another station in District 21,
Right.
in my opinion.
but I just didn't want the talking points to be out there that.
Yeah, the talking points aren't, people are gonna lose their jobs. That is not, no, that's not. even
That's not an option.
on the radar.
So,
But we may, at some point, have to cease contracting with District 4 if they can't pay their fair share. Which is why they left it. Any other new business?
if I could,
Yeah.
just in your board packet, you'll see there's an annexation of about 45 acres happening in District 21.
Yes.
Uh,
Lyndon?
Linden area, it's in the urban growth area. Currently, there's 2 residents. Tax roll is about $450 a year. It's a planned development that's been going on for years, and so they're just letting us know that that's happening, and
Okay. No significant impact to us
those are
currently, and once it's built out, we won't have to service
not quite, but that's not
All
quite
right.
how that works, but right.
it. All right. Correspondence. Some nice articles on Lieutenant Leslie Smith. And then I just wanted to recognize those individuals that participated in the stair climb, of which 2 are here. Congratulations, nice job. Did you guys run in gear?
Yes.
Okay.
That's part of it.
No, not anymore. No, you have the option, right, to not wear your gear
Correct.
because of the cancer-causing agents in the IFF came out. Said you don't have to, but anyway, nice job, congratulations. I did it once. That's all I needed to do was once. All right, announcements. Next meeting is the 16th, and that would be 10:30 unless we can bump it to 10. Or at least be race ready to go with a quick agenda because that's the Birch Bay Chamber lunch date.
You can bump it to 10.
That's not an issue.
I may not be there. That's the deal, so.
Just drive fast.
Yeah, well, I'm there.
Well, you want to keep it at 10:30 and then we can, whatever.
I'm here.
Can you be here at 10:30?
Okay, I should be here at 10:30.
Everyone else okay for the 16th?
Yep.
All right. The SNR webinar on tomorrow is,
It will be recorded and we will receive it about a week after,
Okay.
week to 10 days, and I can send it out.
okay.
if you didn't-
And this is just the procurement laws update.
It's a big procurement law update.
Yeah,
The stuff I've been talking about July, the big effect, July effect.
Raising the limits on all that kind of stuff. That'd probably be worth at least getting the Reader's Digest version.
Right.
Okay. Birch Bay Chamber lunch. Who is going to attend that?
Plan on
You are?
it there,
You are?
Yeah.
Either of you? It'll be at noon right after our meeting next month. It's gonna be at Station 63 in the Bay. It's the opportunity for the chief to present the levy lid lift information. They're gonna provide lunch and I'm hoping there's gonna be about 20, 25 people.
yeah.
Yes? You?
It's probably not gonna stick around.
Okay, so 4 of us?
and chief, that's 5.
And it's not a meeting and it's
Right.
nothing happening, so we can all 4 be there.
Is there a chance they'll have more of these cruising coffee milkshakes?
Scott's going, so.
Chances is.
Only had 10 and you used 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know your weakness.
This and tiramisu, it's all I
Are
need.
you gonna send us the link to that webinar tomorrow?
Yeah, when they send it, then I will send it out.
Any other announcements? We do need to have an executive session. Is there, for next meeting, we'll keep stage 63 and 62 on the CBA on,
The only other information I'd like for the next meeting is just the follow-up on the properties.
Yeah,
I'll be following up with the city on that.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
so the derelict property issue.
If they're if they're actually doing code enforcement, I would like to have some type of input on that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. It's a good open door.
Okay. And then you'll have gone to a couple meetings and you can be involved. All right. I'm gonna try to get with the Birch Bay Village. And then you're gonna try to get a drill for that marina. There's a hydrant issue down there in the village as to the closest one to the marina access. Both of them don't look good for laying supply lines. One of them has to go across the road and down a golf cart path. And the other one would require, depending on which dock was involved, laying across access to the docks. So,
Is that old property?
no, it's owned by the village. There is supposedly an 8-inch main with 3,000 GPM that goes right by there. And David Franklin, who is the manager now, is very interested in having a drill there and actually having maybe the county fire marshal say, yeah, you guys need a hydrant over here, so that he can go to the residents and say, we need a hydrant over here, closer to like the boat ramp. But he would love to have a fire drill there because he experienced a marina fire in LaConner, I believe, when he was a manager there. So he knows how hot fiberglass gets when it burns. Anyway. And in exchange, hopefully we would get a presentation for the levy. All right, we need an executive session. It's 11:18, 15 minutes.
Yep.
So, and there will be no action taken after executive session. So for those of you who don't want to be here any longer, thanks for attending.
Just got time to use the restroom,
Oh.
looks like.
Perfect. Did he say anything or did he
Just gotta run.
He did.
Scotty Brown, would you
All right, we are back on. It's 11:38. I was reminded that I failed to state the purpose of the executive session, and I will go back and amend that. There will be no action since we did meet in executive session for RCW 42.30.140 subsection 4, subsection A, collective bargaining sessions with employee organizations, including contract negotiations, grievance meetings, and discussions relating to the interpretation or application of a labor agreement is why. With that said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. 11:39.